through the enactment of new Waqf laws in most of the countries. So in India, I think the new laws started coming in 1974, and till today there are new enactments. Same thing in Malaysia, right? That Waqf became popular in the 80s, and now it's just been growing, and same as Indonesia. So the same thing will happen here in Nigeria, right? The same thing will happen because people like yourself are now creating the awareness, okay? Creating awareness. Now the practice of Waqf is when you give an asset into charity. Now we can give cash also into Waqf, because many years ago, AIC, if you know AIC, the Sharia Standard Board out of IOC, out of Bahrain, recognized that the Muslim Ummah does not have so much of land and properties to give into Waqf. Okay, so they allowed giving cash also into Waqf. So if you go to somebody and say give into Waqf, and they say, hey, I'm not a rich man, I don't have so much land, how to give, right? You say no, you can give 1,000 naira in Waqf. It's called cash Waqf, and it is Sharia, it is permissible, okay, to give. It's just that whatever you give into Waqf, whether it is an asset or it is cash, that corpus, meaning that asset, has to be made to work to generate profit. The principle itself cannot be sold, cannot be transferred, okay, and of course the management of it comes under the Waqf board or the Waqf or the foundation, some foundation, the Mutawalli, okay. So that is what is Waqf. So now if we look at a small example, say if I was rich and I give a plot of land, agricultural land, into Waqf, okay, to your foundation. Now that Waqf land is totally useless, and even you are not going to get any ajr out of it until that land is not utilized. Something must be done on that land. The land is useless. So when I go around the world, right, so far already 14 countries, I've been and spoken to the ministries and Ministry of Waqf. Everybody, the number one complaint there is we have no capital to develop it. We have so many lands people have given, there are so many properties people have given, but we have no capital to develop or renovate these Waqfs. That is the number one complaint of all Waqfs, except for maybe the rich countries like Qatar and Oman and Kuwait and Saudi Arabia maybe, right? But the rest, all the countries, this is the number one complaint. So why is it that we keep pushing on the asset Waqf? I think the time is we need to push on cash Waqf. Because if you raise cash Waqf, you can take this cash Waqf and use it to develop that land or that property, and then rent it out. You can do agriculture, you sell agriculture product, that is the return on the cash and the land. You can renovate the property, right, and then rent it out with higher value. The rental income is the return on the cash Waqf and the property. So this is where for the last 10 years I am so much focusing on cash Waqf. People come and say, okay, can you take my property and this, that. I'm not interested. It is more headache than you can solve anything. It becomes a very big headache to maintain the property. And always it is a net loss. Because property, if you don't maintain it, you cannot command high rental. And every time something broken, plumbing, electrical issue, some crack here, there, everything, property tax, everything you pay, at the end, net is a loss. So I'm not saying don't do it, yes, but there has to be emphasis on cash Waqf, right? Cash Waqf. And maybe we can talk more what the benefits of cash Waqf could be, okay? So what happens to the reward? When you give something into Waqf, how does God reward you? We talked about Sadaqah, there are rewards, the credits, Zakat. In Waqf, how does God reward you when you give something into Waqf? The way God looks at Waqf is that whatever you have today, right, and this is our belief as a Muslim, our belief, whatever I have today, whether I'm wearing this shirt or I have this phone, is actually gifted to me by Allah. I didn't actually do anything. Yes, I run here, I go there, I work, somebody gave me salary, I used to buy this. All is a gift of Allah. Nothing belongs to me. Only what I did was use my energy. That's all. Okay? Now I'm so happy with Allah because He has gifted me so many things. I take some of these things and I give it back to Allah. But Allah is not sitting in one place. There is no physical presence of Allah in the world. So how can I give it back to Allah? So what I do, I create Waqf. I give it into Waqf. The act of giving an asset into Waqf is giving gift back to Allah, because from the utilization of this gift, the charities run. Okay? And the role of the Mutawalli or the Waqf board or the Awqaf is to take care of that asset in perpetuity, forever. Okay? So he is only a caretaker. He is not the owner. I'm not transferring any ownership over to the Mutawalli. Mutawalli doesn't become an owner. He is a trustee. Trustee. Okay, so in English law is trustee. In Islamic law is Waqf. Okay? So that is the role. That is the act of Waqf. So how God rewards us? God rewards us that when you give anything into Waqf, when this thing is utilized, every time it is utilized, God is giving you reward. So your reward continues. Even after your time, you are gone, but that asset is being utilized, your rewards continue. But Sadaqah stopped, right? Sadaqah because you stopped giving. Zakat also stopped because you stopped paying Zakat because you passed away. But Waqf continues as long as the asset exists. Okay? So that's why you look at in history, why did all the Sultan and Ottoman Empire, everybody, big kings, they always created Waqf. Waqf mosque, Waqf graveyard, Waqf orphanage, Waqf university, Waqf hospital, everything Waqf, Waqf, Waqf. Right? Because they understood something which we forgot. Right? And they are earning those rewards until today, because their mosque is being utilized until today. Their university is being utilized until today. They're getting the rewards until today, in the hereafter. Right? So this is the mindset, how a businessman looks at our social finance. So if you want to convince them to be part and to support you, you have to talk a different language. You have to convince them what is in it for them. If you tell them charity, yeah, today they'll give you 1,000 naira. Tomorrow you come, oh, we have another sum to take care. They'll say, oh, I gave you yesterday, please go away. Right? So what happens, the collection from the nation just keeps decreasing and the effort keeps increasing. Today you have 5 people going and collecting, tomorrow you have 50 people, but the collection keeps going down. Okay? So Oxford University, they actually have a course on this. Okay? They have a course on donor management. How do you manage donors? Right? And they have a terminology for this, is called donor fatigue. Meaning donor is becoming tired. Donor fatigue. They become tired from seeing your face. They become tired from seeing your logo, listening to you all the time. Charity, charity, charity. Okay? So I can tell you from my experience. 2017 until 2020, we were doing charity, charity, charity. Okay? The Waqf chain that we created, Fintera, we were collecting charities, and initially because people like we are coming to collect through the technology, mobile app, everybody giving e-money, right? Easy. After you see this, it went up and then it started going down also. So by 2020, we didn't say we have to do something else or we have to add more donors and things like that. We said let's change the model, okay, and let's pilot the new model. And from the pilot, let's learn how the donor behave after that. Because the database is with you. The donor database, you have it. So whether, when you have database, whether you go to sell him a glass or you go to sell him a water, you can still go to the same guy or you go to sell him tissue, right? The product is changing, but the consumer is the same. So same thing. In social finance, your consumer is the same, whether you go ask Sadaqah or you ask Waqf or you ask Zakat. It's the same guy. So you are still dealing with the same mindset. So in 2020, we completely changed the mindset. Completely. We said, give me your Waqf, okay? I will give you double the money back. You give me 1,000, I will give you 2,000 back from Waqf. Wow, it became crazy. We were collecting money again, left and right and up and down. People were throwing money at us and they're begging, please take my money. I'll sell my house and give you the money now. I want to double my money. So in 2020, we launched a project in October in Malaysia called Fintera Global Plantations. Okay? Fintera Global Plantations. And we went to the regulator. It was fully regulated under the central bank and other agencies, full license, full Sharia compliance. The fatwa was in it. Okay? We linked Waqf with capital market for the first time in 2020. Okay, so we linked Waqf with capital market. What that means is we made Waqf as an investment, just like how you have for your property development, or right? We made Waqf as an investment, and the cash Waqf that the donor gave, we say you're no more the donor, you are the investor. You give me your cash Waqf, you hold a share in the project. When the project will make profit, that percentage of the share of the profit will go back to you. And we define, is it for 5 years or 10 years? And the profit will keep coming to you monthly, quarterly. Upon the maturity, we give your cash Waqf back. So this is called temporary cash Waqf. So also the AIC or the OIC Sharia regulation recognizes temporary Waqf. So I can give something into Waqf, and I can predefine in my Waqf contract to the Mutawalli, I'm giving my apartment into Waqf for 5 years. Whatever the income comes from this apartment for 5 years, you can keep and take care of the charity. After the 5 years, on the 6th year, you return back my apartment. Right? So you know, a lot of people are hiding a lot of cash under their mattress, in foreign bank account and all. So I tell them, I don't care, your money is your money. But don't leave the money earning interest and doing nothing. It is bad for you. Put it as a temporary cash Waqf in our project, as a property development, as a plantation, as many other projects. Okay? You put them there. And after some time, you are making profit and your cash Waqf come back to you. So we don't want any more donation from you. We don't want any charity from you. We only want cash Waqf from you. And believe me, since 2020 till now, the numbers just keep going up and up and up. Every time we are looking for new project to launch, and tell the whole donor or the investor group now, no more donor group, investor group, please inject funds. We are about to start a factory. We are about to start a plantation. We are about to start a new school. Please put money, and we come out with a very nice brochure. We study our CFA, the Chartered Financial Accountant. We'll study that, okay, so much income will come, deduction the cost, right? And this much of profit is a retained profit, which we can share with the investors. So we can tell them, every year we will give you 10%, 12%, 15% return for 5 years. After 5 years, we'll give you your capital back. So all our projects become, possible. Otherwise, we're going on asking donations. Okay. 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 Yes. Okay. So I hope you can see, from a different perspective and angle, the institutions of zakat, sadaqah, and waqf, and how creativity, in financial modeling and technology creates a lot of interest in the Muslim communities. Okay. So I think we have a small signing ceremony. We can do that, and then we can continue, inshallah, the discussion.